I went to renew my license and the clerk said, it's suspended for $9,800 in unpaid tolls. I don't commute. The camera photos showed my plate on a black BMW. My husband said I let my brother borrow it, just the plate. I'm 30F, he's 34M. We live in Montclair, New Jersey, old duplex, steam heat that hisses, street parking that is a blood sport after 6 p.m. I'm a programs coordinator at a small art museum in Newark. He's a residential carpenter who can read plans like music and leaves pencil stubs everywhere. I went to the MVC in Lodi on a Saturday morning with a coffee and a book, ready to wait it out to renew my license. When I finally got to the counter and handed over my license, the clerk tapped a few keys, paused, and said, I thought she was kidding. For what? She turned her monitor. Failure to pay toll violations, she said. 47 outstanding. Except just song, plus 2 failure to appear notices in Newark Municipal. Easy Pass placed a hold. I laughed. Sometimes your brain laughs to avoid melting. I take the DeCamp bus, I said. I don't even have Easy Pass. I don't drive to work. She read off dates. Lincoln Tunnel, Holland Tunnel, Goethals, Bayonne Bridge, a smattering of Parkway gantries, timestamps at 7:32 a.m., 11:10 p.m., 2:03 a.m., and 2 red light cameras in Newark, she added. Here's your abstract. You'll need to clear this with Easy Pass and Newark courts before we can do anything. I sat on one of those plastic chairs under the fluorescent lights and stared at the list. License plate, my Subarus. I bought my Outback Used. I keep it clean. It has a sticker of a little turtle in the back window. The violation photos printed on thermal paper showed a black BMW 5 Series with my plate running red lights and blasting through toll lanes. My stomach dropped. My husband Joe drives a gray Tacoma. His younger brother Anthony drives a black BMW. He's always had a taste beyond his means. I drove home and put the abstract on the kitchen table like a found animal. Joe came in from a job site with sawdust in his hair and that face guys get when they're trying to be casual before a storm. What's up? My license is suspended, I said. I flipped the paper. 47 toll violations, red light tickets. My plate is on a black BMW. He rubbed his jaw. Okay, he said slowly. I can explain, then explain. Aunt's registration lapsed, he said. Back in February. He had to keep working, driving to jobs, DoorDash on weekends. I let him borrow your plate, just for a week. He was going to get square. Borrow my plate, I repeated. Joe, that's a crime. You can't just swap identity for a week and borrow law. I thought I could fix it, he said. I didn't know he'd be flying through tunnels like a psycho. I didn't know about the red light cameras. An Easy Pass is on my credit report, I said. I checked. Someone opened an account with my SSN and a P.O. box in Bloomfield. He closed his eyes. That's on me, he said quietly. It wouldn't prove me my tickets from 2019. I used your info to get the transponder to stop the photo fees. I was going to pay it. I swear. You used my social, I said. You put my license on your brother's car. Now I have a suspended license. He reached for my hand. I pulled back. We can fix it, he said. I'll call Easy Pass. I'll go to Newark Court. You'll do what I tell you to do, I said. And you will not talk to anyone first. Small New Jersey sentence. I drove to a Wawa on Bloomfield Avenue, got a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese, and ate it in the parking lot because I needed salt and a place to be furious. Easy Pass New Jersey customer service is a labyrinth. I called. I got bounced. I found a number for their violation center in Secaucus. A woman named Lydia with the thickest Jersey accent and the thinnest patience answered. I explained. She sighed. "Clone plates," she said. "Happens all the time. We'll need a police report and notarized affidavit that you don't have a BMW, copy of your registration, pictures of your car. We can review and remove the tolls if we determine it's not you, but the red light cameras are Newark Municipal, a separate issue." I filed a police report at the Montclair PD. The officer typed while I talked. "Who put your plate on the BMW?" he asked, not unkindly. I looked at the desk. "My husband," I said. He stopped typing and looked at me. "Okay," he said. "You want to press charges?" I didn't answer. "You can always add to the report." I called a traffic attorney in Newark. The office smelled like coffee and printer toner. He looked at my abstract and nodded. "We can get the failure to appears vacated," he said. "The red light cameras, if they show the wrong car, we can dismiss. The tolls, once Easy Pass clears, the MVC will lift the suspension. It's paperwork. You'll be okay." I signed. I felt like a person bailing water out of a boat with a coffee mug. I sent Lydia at Easy Pass my packet, police report, photos of my Subaru, green turtle sticker, the BMW photos, black no turtle sticker, my registration, a picture of me holding the plate. She said it'll take weeks. I asked if I could get a temporary letter for MVC. She said no. I Ubered to work. I took the decamp again. I was very aware of my lack of plastic. I couldn't rent a car. I couldn't borrow a friend's and risk being pulled over with a suspended license. Joe slept on the couch because I told him to. His mother called me. He was trying to help his brother, she said. Family is family. Family is not my social security number, I said. Tell Aunt to stop driving. She hung up on me. Anthony texted me a novel about, "I'll go to court, I'll handle my tickets, I'll pay." I texted him one sentence back, "Remove my plate from your car immediately, or I call Port Authority and report a cloned plate for Lincoln Tunnel." 10 minutes later, he sent me a picture of him unscrewing my plate from his bumper with a screwdriver like that was absolution. Updates. Update 1. 1 week later, Newark Municipal was as awful as you think. My lawyer stood up, said not her car, showed photos. The judge looked at the BMW image, looked at me, looked at the Subaru photo. Easy Pass emailed. Upon review, we have determined the violations are not your vehicle. Account flagged. Please provide updated contact information for the account holder. Translation, we'll wipe the tolls, but this transponder account is staying up unless you point us to the person who owes. MVC lifted the suspension after Newark cleared and Easy Pass sent a hold release. The clerk stamped something and slid my new license under the glass like she was doing me a favor. I didn't argue. I smiled at my terrible photo and went home. I told Joe he had to tell his brother to show up at Easy Pass Secaucus and pay in person. He did. Anthony sent a screenshot of a $2,800 settlement reduced from $9,800 because if you go in person and are not a monster, Lydia will cut your penalties. He asked, "We good?" I replied with a photo of a turtle sticker. Small local sentence, I drove down Bloomfield Avenue with my windows cracked and felt ridiculous joy at a green light. Update 2. 2 weeks later, then the Port Authority letter arrived. Separate from Easy Pass. Notice of summons, toll evasion, Lincoln and Holland tunnels. Joe had never mentioned those. There were 4. I emailed the same packet. The PA rep said, "We'll review. We also refer repeated toll evasion to the Manhattan DA. I stared at the email like it was a live fish. I forwarded it to Joe. He called Anthony. Anthony texted me thumbs up and my bad. I wished for a non-lethal taser for emojis. We had a fight that night that ended with me taking a backpack and the dog and walking to my friend Jen's. "When were you going to tell me?" I asked. "When your brother totaled someone at a red light and ran?" He cried. He hates crying. It makes him feel like he's in a movie, and he hates movies like that. I thought I could fix it before you found out, he said. It snowballed. It did not snowball. He rolled the ball down a hill and acted surprised it collected dead leaves. He asked for couples therapy. I said later. I needed my duck to dry out. Update 3, 1 month later, EasyPass closed the violations. Port Authority sent me a letter. We have cleared you. Attached is an identity theft affidavit for our records. I printed it and put it in the folder. The folder is now 8 inches thick. My therapist says the folder is proof I exist. I believe her. Anthony sold the BMW. He sent a photo of the plate, his own glow. SSY. He said he got a Civic. He said he feels like a dad. I said behave like one. Joe handed me a check, $1,500 with "for the time" in the memo. It was a weird, small thing, and also I used it to pay the traffic attorney and bought myself a good winter coat. Joe started going to Al-Anon with his mom. Not because he's drinking like his dad did, but because he can't say no to his brother and wants to weld his spine. Update for 2 months later, Anthony called me from a New York number. He'd been pulled over in Staten Island for a broken taillight. The officer ran his info and saw associated with cloned plate. He was respectful. He was terrified. He had the new plate. He got a warning. He wants me to know he's straight now. I said, send me your registration and then never text me again. Joe and I sat with a couples therapist. She asked who gets to decide when we break laws. He frowned. No one, he said. She asked who gets to decide when we take on family emergencies. He said, we do. She looked at me. I said, he's saying the right words. She nodded. Do you believe him? I said, ask me in 6 months. Small USA local sentence. I ate a slice at Star Tavern in Orange, burned edges, and for 10 minutes my brain did not project traffic court onto the pepperoni. Update 5. 4 months later, we separated. Nicely. As nicely as you can when someone put your name on a plank and walked pirates across it. He moved to a 1-bedroom in Bloomfield. I kept the duplex because it's my grandmother's furniture and the dog likes the window. We wrote a boring agreement about money, splitting the one joint credit card, and who gets the camping gear, him, and the Instant Pot, me. We said we'll revisit about the rest. He still works with his hands. He still carries pencil stubs. He calls his brother less. He calls his mother more. He sends me photos of finished carpentry like a guy sliding Polaroids across a diner booth. I sometimes respond with a thumb. Update 6. 6 months later, I dated. One guy in Hoboken who thought the path was a date plan. One guy who said, you really need to lighten up about your husband's hustle, which is not language that gets you a second beer. Then a curator at a gallery in Jersey City asked me if I liked pier at sunset. We walked and didn't talk about tolls. His name is Marco. He collects rocks and says, tell me a thing you didn't say at work today. He met my dog. The dog approved like he approves of anyone who drops cheese. Joe texted me on a Sunday and paid his last ticket. Thank you for making me do the right thing. I said, good. I did not say, I made you do the bare minimum. Small New Jersey sentence. I walked the Brookdale Park Loop at sunrise and watched a guy teach his kid to ride without training wheels. I cried like a weirdo in sunglasses. Update 7. 9 months later, MVC sent me a surprise notice of suspension, failure to pay surcharge. New Jersey is a bureaucracy hydra. My traffic attorney called. It's a backlog, he said. We'll fix. We faxed, proof of dismissal of red light tickets. The suspension went away like a bad dream. I got a letter that said, simply reinstated. I taped it to my fridge under a magnet that says, try. I gave myself permission to sell the Outback and buy something I liked. I got a used Volvo wagon in slate blue. I put the turtle sticker on the back. It felt like a very specific ritual in a very specific cathedral. Joe asked if he could join me for Thanksgiving at my mom's. I said no. He asked if he could drop off mashed potatoes. I said fine. He put them on the porch and texted me a photo like a dad with a baby seat. We are learning. Update 8. 1 year later, divorce. Short hearing in Newark. Judge asked, irreconcilable? We said yes. We signed. We walked out. We hugged. I went to a diner and ate French toast and cried because I didn't feel like a failure. I felt like a doctor who excised a thing that would have killed me slowly. Anthony got engaged to a woman with a spreadsheet for a heart. I sent a gift, a license plate frame that said, I pay my tolls. Petty. Also funny. Small USA local sentence. I stood on the Montclair Boonton Line platform with a coffee, watched the train pull in, and for 1 full minute did not think about gantries or camera flashes, just the day and that I had won. Update 9. 18 months later, if you're sitting at MVC with your stomach on the floor and thermal paper in your hand, here's your map. Ask for your abstract. Don't cry in front of the clerk. Cry in the parking lot. Then call Easy Pass Violations, Secaucus. Ask for review. Use the words cloned plate and identity theft. File a police report. It's weird if the suspect is your husband. File it anyway. You may never press charges. The paper will get things moving. Hire a traffic attorney for municipal stuff. It costs less than you think and saves you days. Send photos. Your car. The wrong car. A plate. A turtle sticker. These people look at pixels. Help them. Expect hydras. Port Authority. MVC surcharges. Papers that cross in the mail. Breathe. Keep a folder. Don't let I was helping family live rent-free in your brain. Borrowed plates and borrowed identities are not helping. You can leave. You can stay. You can separate and buy a turtle sticker. You can insist on consent as a love language. Eat a bacon, egg, and cheese on a hard roll. It won't fix your license. It will fix your blood sugar while you sit on hold. Small New Jersey sentence. I walked past Van Vleck Gardens with coffee. The air smelled like wet leaves, and for a full block I felt entirely like myself and not a case number, just a woman with a dog and a slate blue wagon and a folder that got thinner.